prophetic shadow of the day the Messiah died.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're jumping right in today with something quite profound.
Hmm.
Day one, according to the DDSV in your framework, is the day of light, the moment when the Almighty Creator said, "Let there be light."
It really grabs you, doesn't it? That single line.
It absolutely does. It sparks so many questions, and I think it's that desire for, deeper answers, those real moments of clarity that brings us here.
Definitely. And there's just so much packed into that declaration right at the very beginning of everything. We're going to really delve into the nature of light today, focusing on how it's presented in the creation narrative based on those texts you shared.
Exactly. Our mission, if you will, for this deep dive is to unpack that first day, not just, as a historical marker, but as a concept just brimming with meaning.
Layers upon layers
Right.
and connections that ripple through later scripture, too.
Right. We've got some fascinating text excerpts to look at. I genuinely think you'll find some surprising insights, maybe a few aha moments along the way.
Those are always good.
And just so you know, this is tailored for you. We respect your time, focusing on what really matters, no overload.
Okay. Sounds perfect. Where should we start?
Well, let's start with a key distinction the sources make right off the bat. This idea of a creation day versus the numbered day one.
Ah, yes, that's crucial. It's easy to lump them together, but the sources suggest they're distinct. There seems to be this unnumbered creation day first.
Like a preparatory phase, before the official countdown begins.
Kind of. The idea floated is that during this initial phase, certain unseen elements might have already existed. Things perhaps beyond our immediate perception.
What kind of things?
Well, one suggestion is maybe the full electromagnetic spectrum, for instance. Everything there, but not yet manifested in the specific way we experience visible light.
Okay, I think I see. So all the ingredients are on the counter, but nothing's mixed yet. Then day one dawns, and boom, visible light appears.
That's a good way to put it, like adjusting the focus, bringing things into sharp clarity. And this transition, it's tied directly to the Almighty Creator's will.
How so?
Well, the sources propose that his speaking, saying it will be light, isn't necessarily the sole act of creation out of nothing at that very instant. It's perhaps more of an affirmation.
An affirmation, like acknowledging something already happening.
Exactly, an affirmation of what he was already bringing into being through his will. The source used a great analogy, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Like watching a pot of soup starting to simmer. You see the bubbles, the heat, and you say, with certainty, it will boil.
Ah, I get it. You're not making it boil just by saying the words, but you're recognizing and declaring the inevitable outcome of the process already set in motion. He willed it, observed it unfolding, and then declared it.
Precisely. He willed it into existence, but like seeing the simmering soup says, it will boil. It adds a different dimension, doesn't it?
It really does. Okay, let's zoom in on that specific phrasing.
Hmm.
It will be light. The sources make a point of preferring this over the more common "let there be light." Why is that nuance so significant?
Well, the emphasis shifts, you see. It will be light carries this strong sense of a prophetic declaration. It's about the certainty of the Almighty Creator's plan and its guaranteed outcome.
More like a statement of fact about what's coming.
Exactly. And this apparently aligns better with the Hebrew imperfect tense used in the original text of Breshith. That's Breshith.
Imperfect tense.
Okay.
Remind me.
It often describes an action that's ongoing or not yet fully completed from the speaker's perspective, but is definitely happening or going to happen. It emphasizes the process leading to completion.
Got it. And the sources also mention something called the wa consecutive. Sounds a bit technical.
It does sound technical, but the concept is quite helpful here. Basically, when you combine that wa consecutive, which often translates as then or and so,
Mm.
with that imperfect verb,
Yeah.
it marks the action as being completed in sequence. So you get the declaration, it will be light, imperfect, followed by the result, marked by the wa consecutive, then it was light.
So the then is key. It's not just, and it was light, but then showing a clear step-by-step progression.
Precisely. It underlines the structured, sequential unfolding of creation. Like beats in a symphony, as one source put it. Not just random occurrences, but deliberate steps.
Okay, that paints a picture of immense order and intention. Not chaos, but choreography. Now let's shift gears slightly. The sources bring in the tabernacle, the Mishkan. How does that structure connect back to day one in light?
Ah, the tabernacle connection is quite profound. The Mishkan, the dwelling place, is often seen as a sort of microcosm, a model of the cosmos or creation itself.
Okay.
So if you think about approaching it, the sources point to the flame on the bronze altar, which was outside in the courtyard. That flame, visible from the east at night, would be the first light you'd encounter.
Like a little echo of that very first dawn, a physical representation.
That seems to be the idea, a tangible echo. Then as you move inside, into the consecrated place,
You find the menorah.
exactly, the seven-branched lampstand, an inner source of light within the sacred space.
And the sources link specific lamps to creation days.
Yes, that's a fascinating layer. The suggestion is that specific lamps might correspond to the days, and one interpretation mentioned is that the middle right lamp could potentially symbolize day one.
Wow. So this carefully designed lamp inside this sacred structure mirrors the very structure of Creation Week itself. That implies such a deep continuity of design.
It really does. It suggests these patterns repeat from the cosmic scale right down to the way the divine presence dwells among people.
Okay, let's explore another concept the sources brought up. The metaphorical eyes of Creation Week.
Yeah.
Days 1 and 4. What's that about?
Right, the eyes. This tackles how we perceive and understand creation. Day one, with the arrival of light, both physical and arguably spiritual light, is described as opening the mind's eye.
The mind's eye. So not just physical sight.
No, more like the beginning of comprehension, the dawn of understanding, the ability to perceive order, and perhaps the divine intention behind it all. That initial spark.
So day 1 gives us the basic faculty for understanding reality.
That's one way to look at it. Then day 4 comes along. That's when the Almighty Creator makes the sun, moon, and stars the celestial bodies.
Okay.
These are presented as establishing eyes in outer space. Think of them as light-holding vessels positioned in the heavens.
What do these eyes do?
They provide structure, signs, seasons, but also, metaphorically, they reflect divine wisdom on a grand scale. They illuminate the cosmos, holding and distributing light.
So day 1 is the inner eye opening, and day 4 sets up these external cosmic eyes reflecting light and wisdom, like layers of seeing.
Exactly. It's a really evocative image, isn't it? Layered perception from the internal mind's eye to the cosmic reflectors.
It is. Now, how does Yahshua fit into this framework of light and creation? The sources clearly draw connections.
They do, very strongly. One powerful connection is mapping Yahshua's statement, "I am the way, the truth, and the life," onto the tabernacle structure.
How does that work?
Well, think of the tabernacle layout. The entrance, the way in, is the way, then you enter the consecrated place.
So the menorah is the light.
Right, representing illumination, understanding the truth. And then beyond the veil, you have the most consecrated place, the very dwelling place of the Almighty Creator's presence.
Which represents life.
Wow. So Yahshua embodies that entire path, that complete journey to the divine presence, mirroring the tabernacle's progressive revelation, which itself echoes creation's light.
That ties it together incredibly well. And there was a reference to Yahshua's teaching about the eye being the lamp of the body.
Yes, from Matthew chapter 6. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eye is healthy or clear, single-focused, your whole body will be full of light.
So clear spiritual vision, focusing on the true light, which is Yahshua.
Fills your entire being with light. It connects internal focus and spiritual clarity directly to being illuminated, much like the menorah illuminated the consecrated place. If your mind's eye is focused correctly, you perceive rightly.
That's a powerful parallel. Internal state mirroring external reality, or rather spiritual reality. Okay, one last point from the sources. This idea of the inherent joy in bringing light.
Yes, this felt very intuitive, I think. Think about it in our own experience. There's a real joy in discovery, isn't there? When you uncover something good, find a solution, understand something new.
Absolutely. Or even when something difficult, something hidden in darkness is brought into the light, there can be pain, but also relief.
Exactly. Exposing something harmful ultimately leads to healing and restoration. So light, whether it's revealing goodness or exposing darkness, fundamentally reveals, clarifies, and restores. There's an inherent goodness and, yes, joy associated with its function.
It feels like that aha moment, that click of understanding, or the relief when truth comes out. It seems deeply human, echoing that very first divine act.
I think so too. The arrival of light signifies order replacing chaos, understanding replacing confusion, potential being revealed. It's fundamentally positive.
So bringing this all together then, day 1 wasn't just flipping a switch for physical light. It was, well, much more profound.
Much more. It was the dawn of divine intention made manifest, the beginning of cosmic order, set in motion deliberately by the Almighty Creator, who wasn't just commanding, but willing, observing, affirming.
That picture of the Creator willing, observing, and then affirming with, "It will be light," that really resonated. It feels less like a detached command and more relational.
Yes, relational and perhaps even joyful, seeing the intended goodness begin to unfold.
This has been incredibly insightful, really shedding new light, you could say, on that first day.
It always does, doesn't it? Revisiting these foundational texts.
It does. And it leaves me with a thought for you, our listener. As you go about your life, consider those moments of light you experience. Maybe it's a flash of understanding, an insight clearing up confusion, or even the difficult but necessary exposure of something hidden. How might those personal moments echo that very first cosmic day one?
That's a powerful reflection. What new light might be dawning, or